Hey guys, what is going on? It is Lieutenant Royal Shrimp here, bringing you guys some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. Now, in this video I was going to talk a little bit about going back to Call of Duty after not playing it. If you guys didn't know, over the summer I didn't post very many videos. That's because I didn't have any recording equipment and I actually got a job and to get money for recording equipment. And during that time I didn't play any Call of Duty at all. Pretty much, and now school started up again, and it's been, well, I want to say close to 2 months since I've actually put the Modern Warfare 3, or for that matter any Call of Duty disc in and actually played Call of Duty. And I gotta tell you, it is really weird going back to this game. You'll see here, this is the first game. I mean, I just jump into a game right away and I just go back to it. And man, was it weird. The controls were all, the controls were okay. I mean, they're COD controls, right? But what to me was weird was the fact that I had been playing the Medal of Honor beta. I mean, I've been playing it nonstop. You know, I get home, I do my homework, and boom, I play the beta because it's just so friggin' awesome. I mean, the game is sick. And in there, they only have like 4 or 5 settings for sensitivity. So, and the sensitivity is, the max sensitivity in Medal of Honor Warfighter is about half of what it is in Call of Duty, even though it's maxed out, and you know, you would think with one like turn or something like that, you're getting insane speeds. You're only getting about half the turn speed, or whatever you want to call that you are in COD. So going back to this, you might see me here, I overshoot, like when I'm looking around and turning, I overshoot a lot of times because I'm having some real issues aiming because, I mean, I was not used to the sensitivity anymore. And then the second thing that I realized is that I was actually playing on tactical, and so I had to get used to that again, of course, because, I mean, the controls are different, and there's just so much stuff. But what I realized was, and this right here was pretty nice, but what I realized was that it really was not that hard to get back into. And so I'm wondering, is it because, does this apply to all video gamers, or does it apply to all people who play games in general? But is it something that, I mean, I play games so much, I would like to say, I don't know if this could be scientifically backed up or whatnot, but that it's in muscle memory. I mean, it's just like riding a bike. Once you've done it and once you've learned how to ride a bike, you will always know how to ride a bike. I mean, you hear of people who for 20 years don't do something like that and then get on and know right away. It takes them like a minute and then boom, they're on and they're riding again and it's fine. So, I was gone for 2 months from a game, and I come back, and yeah, I had to adjust for, half a game or so, but then after that I was fine. And I don't know, I mean, maybe it is just that, you can't actually forget it once you've, done it or played it for so much. And so that was just something interesting because, I mean, like I said, I was overshooting things, and I completely forgot, how that is. And then the second thing that I found really interesting is compared now. Like, I mean, I've been playing the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta for days on end now, and compared to this game, the beta feels really good. Actually, it feels really polished compared to this game. But what's interesting is how the guns work, because in the a lot of people in the forums of Battlelog have been saying that this game, that Medal of Honor, feels way too much like Call of Duty. And I'm gonna have to kind of agree and yet kind of disagree. And my biggest agreement point is the fact that the guns in Call of Duty, if your aimer moves, or like if your gun, where you're aiming moves up an inch, that's where your bullets are gonna hit. I have no clue what happened there and how that last guy didn't die there, but then you've got games like Battlefield where if you hold down the fire button, for the first couple, like 5 or 10 bullets, the bullets will go where you're aiming, but if you keep holding down the trigger, the bullets will actually start kind of going random. And I don't know if you guys know that, but it actually gets, if you're like on an LMG, like an M240 SAW or an M60, your bullets will not always hit their mark if you hold down the trigger for too long. That's why burst firing is something really critical to do in that game. But back to Call of Duty, you don't really have to do that in this game. I mean, yes, burst fire increases your accuracy and all, but it really, you can just hold down the trigger and, well, hope to God that your aimer, whatever you want to call it, your iron sights go back to, their starting position and on their head or whatever. But in Medal of Honor Warfighter, it's basically the same thing. And they actually have an interesting system, and I can't really confirm this, but I would like to say I can. And that is that if you're moving while shooting, you are less accurate than when you're standing still. And I think I read somewhere that that was actually like a tip at the bottom, like, you know, they display like during the loading screen or whatnot, a tip. But if you move while you're shooting, you're going to be less accurate. And you know, Medal of Honor is playing on the playing the part, or saying that it is the, you know, the most realistic shooter, or trying to be a very realistic shooter. And you know, that's cool and all, but it does get kind of annoying when you're walking around. But yeah, so back to Call of Duty. That was like a short little, I guess you could call it like a revelation that I had. Now onto another topic that I really want to talk about, and you know, it may surprise you, it may not, but I most likely will not be getting Call of Duty Black Ops. Now, a couple reasons for that. A, I don't have the kind of money for that. I mean, there's so many games coming out. You've got Warfighter, you've got Halo, you've got Assassin's Creed, you've got Black Ops. So, you know, that's $240 there. Well, okay, so, you know, without shipping, without doing anything like that. And that's a lot of money for somebody who's, you know, still in high school and doesn't have a job every day. So I probably will not be getting Call of Duty Black Ops. Now, in the past years, I've always told myself I'm not going to get the next Call of Duty game. You know, it's going to be the same exact thing. But I've always gotten it because in the end I will come back. You know, all my friends are playing it. But this year I really am probably not going to get it, just because there are so many other games that are coming out and so many other games that I really want to play and that I think I'm going to value more. Because, I mean, really, Black Ops, again, it's nothing, it's just, you know, Modern Warfare 3 with a texture pack, with a sound pack on it, and cool, it has, you know, what is it called, like broadcaster mode now, and the class system is changed up. Okay, well, what's significantly new? Did the graphics change? Were there any key game mechanics that changed? To my knowledge, no, so there's no real point. Yes, I probably will be getting the game eventually, I just will not be getting it on release date, which, you know, in my mind isn't that big of a deal. You know, you may be disappointed, but again, I'm sorry, but I just don't have that kind of cash, and I will not be doling it out for that. And, you know, games like Medal of Honor Warfighter and Halo 4, they do deserve their respective purchases. And, you know, Warfighter is something different again. You know, people are saying, oh, it's just another shooter, you know, it's just another COD. No, I respectfully disagree. It's not just another COD, it's not just another Battlefield. It is something different. It's on its own in a lot of ways. You know, first, gun customization. I've never seen that much customization in a game besides, like, Army of Two, I think, what was it, 40th Day. You know, Battlefield has a little bit of customization, but again, not that much. But I'm really just looking forward to unlocking that. The team play is different. You know, you've got it's the style of the game is like Call of Duty. It's a lot more fast paced than Battlefield, but you're running around a lot more, and it's very, I don't know, you just have a lot more movement. But again, you've got your buddy, your fire teammate, and you really want to coordinate with them, because, like I said in a previous video, in my Medal of Honor beta overview, that it's crucial that you talk to your buddy, that you know your buddy, and it'd be best if you have a friend, you know, somebody who you know in real life who you can talk with, because, man, if you're not with a buddy, I can guarantee you, A, your fire team will most likely not be on top of the scoreboard, which you, by the way, get bonuses for, and it looks cool. And B, I mean, you just probably won't do good because your buddy's not going to have no idea what to do. You know, if you're trying to spawn in on him, he's going to run into battle. If it's your friend, you can tell him don't do it. But there's just so many more things. I mean, in Call of Duty, you can see me. I'm always, if you're looking on the radar or paying any attention at all in this game, I am always away from my teammates. You know, I'm always where my teammates aren't. And that's kind of the lone wolf playstyle of Call of Duty. You know, you don't need, you know, much team. I mean, yeah, in domination, you know, in clans and clan battles and whatnot, you do need some team coordination and team talking. But if you really get down into it, you do not need that much team play. You know, if one guy or two guys are doing really good and can get all their assault kill streaks out or something like that, you know, they can completely just hold down and spawn lock a team. And so you know, that's fun and all. It's fun poning people for oh so long. But like I said, I mean, I didn't play this game for 2 months and I did not miss it. You know, I didn't have those cravings like, oh man, I got to get back and pwn people. No, I was just playing other games. You know, I really enjoyed Battlefield. Battlefield came out with their map pack Armored Kill, which was actually really cool too, and I still want to make a video about that because Armored Kill is awesome and there's rocket launchers and shit. And yeah, I mean, it was fun, and I am using a golden ACR, and you know, you can say what you want about it, but the ACR is a good gun. I think it's the only gun in this game that I've over 2,000 kills with. I'm pretty sure. I think I've got 40,000 kills in total in Modern Warfare 3 before Black Ops comes out. And even though if I'm not buying it, I still want to do like a stats overview, kind of like what I did over the years, or the year between, you know, the coming out of or the releasing of Modern Warfare 3 and the release of Black Ops, because those stats are actually pretty cool. I've seen other people do it, and it's really interesting, and it's kind of cool to just kind of go back and reflect on, like, wow, I did this, and, you know, I actually spent, or, you know, you could say it's sad or it's cool that I spent this much time on a game, or I did not. So we're coming towards the end of the game here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sort of all over the place commentary. Again, if you guys do not like that I'm not getting Black Ops, then you know, you can donate or do whatever. Anyways, guys, my name is Lieutenant Rostrum. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.